And I got great news for those of you who want to take your kids trick-or-treating or attend a Halloween carnival at your kid's school. Dr. Fauci said it'll be okay to have Halloween this year. I really hate to burst his bubble, but I honestly don't need Dr. Fauci's permission to have Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, or for that matter, I don't need his permission for going to church or a football game. You know, when this whole pandemic started and President Trump was doing daily press conferences and answering hours of questions, I thought Dr. Fauci was an expert and we ought to listen to him. But as time moved on, I noticed that he changed his mind about as often as a baby changes a diaper, and for being filled with the same stuff. I mean, remember when he adamantly told us not to wear a mask? It would be useless to protect us against the virus. And in fact, it would be dangerous for anyone but medical people to use a mask because we'd be touching the mask and our faces, and it would be bad to wear a mask. Then a few months later, the same Dr. Fauci told us we had to wear a mask. And later, he said we ought to wear 2 or even 3 masks. He told us if we shut everything down for 2 weeks, we'd flatten the curve. Hey, we're going on 2 years, and all we've done is flatten the economy and destroyed a whole lot of small businesses. And then he told us it wouldn't be safe to go to church if there were more than 10 people there. Folks, a church with less than 10 people is probably a dead church anyway. But while church or a small mom and pop store was too dangerous to keep open, because if we went there, we would die. Yet it was fine to go to Walmart or a big supermarket and be wall to wall with thousands of strangers. We'd be okay there. Fauci said sporting events and open-air stadiums were too dangerous, but he never said that Antifa and Black Lives Matter riots where people crowded together to burn government buildings and police cars was a problem at all. He told us not to even think about having Thanksgiving with our families last year. Early on, he told us to wash all the vegetables, the fruits, and the canned goods coming into our homes. By summer, he said, never mind, you can't catch COVID by touching stuff. I mean, the more this thing has gone on, the more I think Dr. Fauci enjoys being on TV and telling people what to do. And if he changes the science says, then he gets to go on TV again and tell us that the science has changed. I wonder if he really wants to control the very real threat, and it is real, the real threat of COVID, or if he just wants to control us. And if we're supposed to follow the science, but the science seems to always keep changing and zigzagging all over the landscape, how do you follow it? And if science is so unsure that it changes every few weeks, what does that say about the so-called science of climate change? Now, when I was in college, we were told that we would be having a coming ice age in 10 years. 10 years later, that didn't happen, but we were told the ozone layer was disappearing and we were going to get toasted in the next 10 years. That didn't happen, so in 10 years after that, global warming was going to melt all the glaciers and we'd be drowned by flooding in, of course, 10 years. 10 years later, it's just climate change brought on by the flatulence of cows, having cars, and going places in airplanes. Now, if science is that uncertain, following it seems like following a 5-year-old around the toy store. Look, I do believe in science, real science, but I also believe the Bible. And folks, this world isn't going to end until God is done with it. And in the meantime, I'll be really happy. I'll be happy to listen to the scientists. But I want them to listen to me over this. We're going to have Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, whether they say it's okay or not, because it's still America, and unelected bureaucrats, even smart ones, don't get to order us how to live. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, then subscribe, and hit the notification bell below. Now, if you didn't like it, you ought to find a Ben Shapiro video to detox you with more facts.